Coming up on Real Talk.
Sometimes some people is forced to get into something. It can be something that happened to them in their life and they choose to be in a gang, or sometimes some people can just always wanted to be in a gang. They was fascinated.
The person that's not doing well in school, they would be more apt to gangbang than the person that's doing well in school, more apt. But the person that's doing well in school could also do the same thing as that person that wasn't.
Exactly, but the person that's doing bad in school is more radical, you know, more violent, because they have a brain set that's like that attention that they're not getting in school, they're getting that attention on the streets with their bad actions, the things that they choose to do, rob, steal, kill, whatever it is. So they emotionally tied into that. But then that straight A student, that person have a more settled mind.
With consistency comes achievement. Could you believe it? Well, I believe it. I believe it. Yeah, you could receive it as long as you can perceive it.
Bedrock Records and Film presents They're Back. Cross. Reverts. On Comcast Channel 93 and AT&T Uverse Channel 99. Playing on Comcast Channel 93 and AT&T Uverse 99.
With consistency comes achievement. Could you believe it? Well, I believe it. I believe it. Yeah, you could receive it as long as you can perceive it.
Welcome to our show, Real Talk. I'm your host, Amina. The views expressed here are strictly ours. Take what you like and leave the rest. With me today is Hakeem. Welcome, Hakeem. Our topic today is, why do people choose to be in gangs? Is it a learned behavior? Hakeem, what you have to say about that?
Yes, it is a learned behavior, something that they learned and really copied. I think it's basically they learned it off of the person that they look up to, someone that they wanted to follow and be like.
Okay, so it's somebody that they admire, like their hero or something. That is why they want to do it.
Yeah, and it's a thrill. I think it's a thrill to them, and they're excited to do it and to be in a gang, because it's something that they're fascinated to the dress codes, the way they walk, the way they talk.
Couldn't it be a TV show, or it's just just the mere fact that they like this type of behavior is what would make them want to be in a gang?
Depends on what type of environment they grew up in, you know. Not necessarily, and it depends on their
more their mind frame, wouldn't you say?
Exactly.
They're like, if they, like you say, this is something that they wanted to do. It was something that they seen that someone was doing that they wanted to do, not necessarily their immediate environment, because the environment that they were in doesn't necessarily have to promote gang behavior. It's something that them themselves admire in someone else, would you say? It doesn't necessarily have to be that home environment, that particular home environment, but an environment that they're familiar with that make them want to do this type, project this type of behavior.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, it can be society too. like TV programs, like, you know, say for instance, like a child watch television and they watch like people united, coming together, doing things and doing stuff as a unit, you know. Sometimes it depends on their lifestyle that they're living. You know what I mean? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Like their lifestyle that they're living, you mean, because they could be living a lifestyle, say for instance, a preacher's child. You know, their lifestyle is not like a banging style, but yet still their child can turn out to be a gang banger. So it's something that was in that child that needed to come out. Is that what you mean by lifestyle? But what do you mean?
It's what they see. So they mimic what they see.
So they mimic what they see. Now, it's something that they like, that was drawn to them, that's going to give them something that they need, that would make them want to do that, something that they didn't get.
Yeah, it's like, it depends on, sometimes some people is forced to get into something. It can be something that happened to them in their life and they choose to be in a gang. Or sometimes some people can just always wanted to be in a gang. They was fascinated toward being in a gang. Like, say for instance, you know, you can be a straight A student and still become a gang member.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, the person that's not a straight A student, he put full-hearted into gang banging and doing things that's, you know, that's not really that's senseless, you know, because they're getting that attention that they wasn't getting in school because their grades, so they give up. So they become street thugs, you know. They really don't care about education. They really don't care about anything, you know. But at the same time, they're rolling with their emotions. It's like an emotion set, you know, inside of them. So when you initiate yourself in a game, you put it in heart. You know what I mean? So that's why I think it's a dangerous thing to get in it, because you taking it too hard, you know, and you're not really thinking about the consequences of you being in the game. It's like, for instance, you know, my brother did it, so I'm a part of it. So you guilty if your brother in the gang just by this person being your brother. You probably don't want to be in the gang, but someone do something to your brother and you're gonna bag your brother up. So it can be like, I always wanted to be in a gang because my brother was a gang, but I chose to go to school. But at the same time, the same people don't like my brother is the same people that's not gonna like me because that's my brother, you know?
So guilty by association or being just a part of that person.
Yeah, but it's like, you don't think about the consequences of your actions when you initiate yourself in a gang. You do in a sense and you don't, you know what I mean? It's like, say for instance, I'ma do this for my dead homie. Because you was emotion, so you block that consequences out because you don't care about that, you know? You figure you got a personal grudge against these people because I don't like them, so I might as well join the gang. You know, even though you is good in school, getting straight A's and all that, you're not putting energy into doing something that's logical to something that's unlogical. Meaning that, you know, you rolling with your emotions, you really don't care because you love this person. So now you don't like these people. So that's one part of making a person become a part of a gang. But then young people start entering gangs just by liking, fascinated toward the gang lifestyle. You know what I mean? Just like the way they dress, the way they walk, the attention that they get.
Oh, it's an attention thing.
Yeah, the attention that the gang get and the attention that that they get.
That the person that's seeing all this attention that the gang is getting, and they're not getting attention, so they want some, so they want to become a part of this, so that they can get that attention too.
Yeah, you wanna show out. You know, you wanna be that guy. You know, that person or that female. You know, cause you know I'm real. You know, that's to them that's real. But they're not thinking about the lives that they're destroying, the minds that they're destroying, they're not really conscious of that because to them, they're right. You know, they grew into this. You know, it's like, it get deep. And me personally, I can understand that because it's like you grow up in it and it's kind of hard not to be a part of it because if you want to be in it, you know, it's like you can be in it, but if you don't be in it, you're going to socialize with them. So you're still going to separate yourself from the other people. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you still want your respect, but you're not a part of it, but you socialize. So you're guilty by association, but at the same time, it's still in the back of your head, should I do it? Should not get into this lifestyle? You know, it's like, and then, you know, it's all emotions. It deals with your emotions though, I personally, because, you know, you love the person, so you don't like the people that did that to the person that was in the other gang, you know? So you block out consequences of your actions or the gang actions. Mentally, you know, you really don't care.
Yeah, you just block it out because when you're angry and your emotions are flowing anyway, all rationale leaves anyway. So there's no rationale going on. You just going on that feeling what you're feeling. And so that's what you're saying.
Yeah, and a lot of these people, they do drugs. You know, they really intoxicated on their actions, and so they're ruining young minds indirectly, not understanding that they're ruining young minds. You know what I mean? But they really don't want to do it. Like, you know, you could say the big homie go to school, but then you still gang banging. You know what I mean? But then at the same time, you doing it. Why should not do it? You know?
Exactly, because it's sort of like the way you treat me is what you teach me. How you gonna tell me not to smoke and you sitting up here smoking 40 going north? How you gonna tell me not to gang bang when you gang banging? And you're my big homie, I mean, you my example, so you who I'm looking up to, so that's what I wanna do because I see you doing it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly, but it's like the big homie really don't want you to do that. You know, but he's not really promoting you to do it by telling you to do it, but then
he's showing you to do it.
You're his idol.
Yeah, you're not, the big homie is not telling you to do it, but the big homie is not doing anything different. He's telling you not to do this, but you're not listening to your big homie's words because this is your big hero. So you're going to do what your big homie is doing because this is your hero. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, your gang is your hero. They're the people that have your back. They're the people, they're like your family, you know? So that's why I say it's an emotional set. You know, that's why they can literally cry or, you know, get mad and go apes on you disrespecting them and what they stand for. So it's like they really don't understand what they're getting themselves into, but then once the blood shed, then they feel locked into it, you know, then reality hit them, you know, like say for instance, they did something to get in trouble and they get incarcerated over the gang and it's gang related, you know, this is when they realize the consequences of their actions, you know. That's what sometimes it takes people to go through something to realize that, you know, hey man, I was young and I made poor choices and I chose the wrong idol, you know. Right. And it's hard to stand on your own, and they feel like they're locked into that lifestyle by them living how they live, stepping outside, you know. So they feeling like they're an outcast if they're not a part of this because of the peer pressure. The peer pressure. And then all of the peer pressure came from a poor decision of what they made when they was young. They made this decision when they was young, and they always was a part of this gang, and this is who they hang with, but then it's like, this is their choice. But they had to go through some consequences to see that this is not it. Hey, hold on, let me see. This is not the lifestyle that I want to live, you know? And a lot of people, when it comes to being an individual, you know, some people want to be a part of something because they miss the family bond, they miss the unity, you know, but then they can express themselves to their homies more than to their family member, their significant other. Some people come from broken homes, you know, some people come from drug families that, you know, the only love they got is their big homies. And so they choose to be with the big homie rather than because they didn't have a father in their house. They didn't have a mother. They didn't have a father figure. A lot of these kids, male figures, their fathers really didn't stir this into them, you know. Don't do this, don't do that. You know, their father was probably a part of this. You know, they were showing them how to throw up gang signs when they was little. So it's learned behavior because their father was this and they chose to be this, you know?
Yeah, but what about the family that parents didn't do that? That the parent was there, the father was there, the mother was there, but yet and still their son chooses to be in a gang. What's that situation?
Attention. They choose to do that to be a part of something because they feel like they're outcast. They're ashamed. You know, they're not mentally developed. Their mind is not mentally developed to look at reality, you know? So they...
With consistency comes achievement. Could you believe it? Well, I believe it. I believe it. Yeah, you could receive it as long as you can perceive it.
Bedrock Records and Film presents the premiere of their band, Cross Reverts. Now playing on Comcast Channel 93 and AT&T UVerse Channel 99. Comcast Channel 93 and AT&T UVerse 99.
With consistency comes achievement. Could you believe it? Well, I believe it. I believe
So whatever their parents, all the good is telling them, they're not hearing it. It's going in one ear and out the other, you know, because they're the outcasts. They looking, you know, they're followers, basically.
Oh, they're followers.
They're followers, but then at the same time, they got a point to prove. You know, they want to show out. You know, they want to be a part of something. They want to be a part of something. But at the same time, until they go through them consequences of their actions, they won't realize it, you know. But then them can be the torpedoes, you know, because they have a point to prove. They want to show you because they idolize you, you know, they really liked it, you know. They liked it, how you walk, how you talk, you know, like, man, you know, and the things that you do. They chose to do that.
The what?
The preacher's son.
Or the imam's son.
Yeah.
Or, yeah,
They chose to do that because why? It was his devices. It's like the peer pressure of the world, you know. So you tested that. You know, your father said, like, you're a baby, you know, that don't touch that hot water heater or you're gonna burn yourself. But then the child, she gonna touch it and burn herself.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it depends on the individual. If they want to, they're gonna, if they want to. Some people saying toward getting in trouble.
Some people actually like getting in trouble. That's what you're saying.
Yes, they like it until they really hit rock bottom and feel the consequences of their bad actions.
So this trouble that they're getting into, and they like this trouble that they're getting into, so that sounds like they're needing some attention, and whether it's negative attention or positive attention, they need the attention.
It takes something drastic, real life, that is like to really see, oh, you locked into this. You know what I mean? So for them to see something drastic in their life, to really realize this is real life. And then when they see it, I don't care who you is, you really don't want to be a part of it, but you're locked into it. You know what I mean? Meaning that this is real life. You know, at first it was this cartoon, you know, this not really cartoon, this
Your fantasy that you wanted,
yeah,
that you thought
something-
you wanted,
yeah,
and
it-
now you actually in it.
yeah, now you live in it until it hit home. Now everyone's sad, everyone's crying, now everyone's dealing with emotions. Now the heat is on. And now you want to be like, why did I?
Yeah, why did I make this terrible decision?
Yeah. So you on an emotional rampage. So basically you blank out and you don't care about consequences. You know, because you're dealing with your emotions. Your emotions is that you emotionally tied into this gang and someone did something to your friend and you don't like this.
Okay, so you're emotionally tied into the game. You really don't want to do it, but you feel like you have to because you stuck.
You have to, because that's how you feel. You really don't care. You know, you really don't care. You're not tripping off consequences.
Okay, so the thing is here, why do people choose to get into the games? Well, they chose to get in there because they admired someone that was in there. They didn't necessarily have to come from an environment that was promoting the gangbanging issues, but somebody out there, a gangbanger or this lifestyle was something that me, myself, I really admired that gangbanging girl, but I'm not from a gangbanging thing. So that would make me, ooh, she's my hero. So that's making me want to go after, be like her when that wasn't even my get up from the beginning. I never was brought up like that, but since this is my hero and I'm admiring this I would choose to be in this type of stuff.
You're sensitive to her emotions of her loss, that what happened to her in her life, you know, to what happened to her gangbanging friend, from her being over here, her being on this side of the street, her being from there. So you can have an emotional tie with this person on that, understanding what, okay, well, this person did this to this person and this person was a good person. You know, so it's like you're like confused mentally.
The child is confused. The person is confused.
Confused on
good or bad. I mean, I'm running with emotions now. This was my friend or something, and I'm empathizing. I'm putting myself in her place, and it wasn't fair. I felt like what happened to her wasn't fair, and she's a gang. She was a gang person, and I want to be like her. Is that what you're saying? But I'm not from that background.
It's something that you want to do.
It's something that the person, the individual, just chooses to do, whether they're from an environment that was promoting gangbanging or an environment that did promote it. Say, take the person that's not doing well in school. They would be more apt to gangbang than the person that's doing well in school, more apt. But the person that's doing well in school could also do the same thing as that person that wasn't.
Exactly, but the person that's doing bad in school is more radical, you know, more violent, because they have a brain set that's like that attention that they're not getting in school. They're getting that attention on the streets with their bad actions, the things that they choose to do, rob, steal, kill, whatever it is. So they emotionally tied into that. But then that straight A student, that person have a settled mind to make a more better conscious decision. But then this person think about his actions, but then the person that's not educated in the books, can't read or write, you know, they tend to be a little bit more violent because they don't really care. This person can talk about having a career in life, and this person can't read or write. So he's gonna be all street. He's gonna make all street decisions. He's gonna make all decisions that's based on no rational thinking, because they're not gonna use their mind to focus in on what they wanna do in life constructive, more as the person that's that has straight A's and their parents always, so if they have a conscience, which a lot of people do, they have a tendency to go to jail one time and be like, man, I'm good.
Oh, uh-huh.
And the person that didn't, you know, had the mental set to do right in school or act right or could read or write or could, you know, focus in on life, they would have the tendency to be the more trouble on the streets. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it's not so much that they are terrible people. It's just that need that they had wasn't being met in that environment that they were in. People was a little bit, maybe didn't have enough patience with them, and then too, they could be bigger, and then within themselves, they didn't want to ask that question because people might say, they might be thinking, well, they gonna say I'm dumb or whatever, and then depending on who it was that was helping you. So that all plays into your mental state on if you're gonna ask for help or not ask for help. If you ask for help, you're gonna feel like you a dummy or something. So what makes you feel good is you this big man and you out here gang banging, and that way you don't even have to worry about nothing because this is what you do good. This is what I do good. At least I can do something good. I can't be good in school, but I can be good out here on these streets. Is that the mentality?
That's the mentality, and they really don't care about that. But then at the same time, they want to, but they don't have the motivation inside to get that help. They would like to, because it would take something drastic like go to prison, you know. And then even if they get in prison, if they had the mental set, they can be trouble on the yard because they can't learn, because they don't have the ability to learn because they gave up mentally and they put they all in this gang. So now you with the politics of the prison and the gangs and all of that. But it takes something real drastic to see that, hey man, I made a bad decision, you know, because they blocked it out mentally.
So it takes something to snap within them to make them see that this decision that they made is not a good decision, even with all of the issues that they have, that they can learn and they can do well. They don't have to be in a gang, but it's something that's gonna have to snap within them. Something like, man, I've been doing this for 50 years. I'm 50 years old. I'm tired of this here stuff. You know, you got to hit a bottom. You got to be sick and tired of being sick and tired. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they have to reality, you know, and then even though if you do, you're gonna be affiliated, but then you're gonna come back with the mind frame and be like, I made a bad decision. You know, it takes something to snap within them. Well, man, I gotta be a father. It probably take that child that they had to realize that, hey, I got a child now. I gotta stop this. I want to live for my child. I want to be on these streets. It takes something to snap in their head to realize that, hey, this is not reality. You know, this is dangerous. You know, and I'm running around angry because I don't get along with this person. I don't get along with that person. But then it's something that they chose to do, and it started like as something they was fascinated toward doing.
So the whole thing came from fascination. They were fascinated with this lifestyle. Yeah. Because, why were they so fascinated?
Because everyone that they were socializing with was a part of it, and they did it, so they wanted to go outside and be in it. You know what I mean? And they chose to run with this crowd of people. To them, everybody else was, what'd you say, L7s, squares. People that, oh, they don't know nothing, they square. You know, you're not hip, you're a nerd, you are this and that, you know? So that's the frame of mindset that they have. And it's like, they don't realize how deep it is until they really run into that brick wall, you know? And it's like, I think people choose to do that unconsciously. You know, consciously, because they just step outside to it. It's something that that's always around them. A lot of people, you know, majority of the people that's in the game, you know, because it came natural.
It came natural. Well, we're going to get ready to wrap it up, Hakeem. Basically, if a parent didn't promote this type of thing, basically what they can do, they really can't do anything because the child has chose to do it. And so the child has to make that decision. He has to hit a wall or hit something to snap him back to reality. Is that correct?
Exactly. They have to go through something drastic to realize that they made a mistake in their life. And hopefully, if it's, you know, it's so drastic that, or maybe it's not that drastic, maybe it takes something small, you know, but a lot of time when people put their emotions because of their baggage in life or their something that they missing in home and something they never received in home, they do it just naturally, and hopefully, you know, they'll wake up.
They'll wake up. Okay. Well, we've come to the end of our show, and maybe we might talk a little bit more on this maybe next time. But for right now, baby, when you know better, you do better. See you. Ciao. God, you really get to the meat.
I was flipping through the favors, and it's that, how can I repay? There is no way, and it's that, how can I repay?